Vince, you're good to go.
Oh, all right. We're live. So, living in the 904. It's a show that we do here in the city of Jacksonville on 97.3 The Game. Unfortunately, due to the coronavirus, we're not able to go to the studio to record. So we are doing these videos, every Wednesday, bringing you guys some content, letting you know what's going on with us, what's going on in our industry. So here we are. What's going on, fellas?
Hey, good
What's
morning.
going on, Mo?
How's it going?
There he is.
Still corona free, thank God.
Yeah. So, hey, Mo, so how have you been dealing with like working from home and dealing with the kids and homeschooling and all that? How's that going for you?
Do I look stressed out? Is it? I mean, I don't know how it portrays across the screen, but no, it's
You got
different.
a really nice haircut.
No, that's another story.
Just
But I ran into the lady that cuts our hair at Publix. So she actually was able to cut everyone's hair yesterday. So I feel somewhat back to normal. But,
there you go.
Yeah, things are just different, all the way around, just from when you leave the house and the activity on the outside. And the phones have definitely slowed down a little bit regarding setting up showings. But the new listings that we just got, you start to see the activity. I think people are getting a little antsy and want to get out there. So we've seen the activity last weekend really pick up a lot. So hopefully this is a good sign of things to come as things start to evolve and, we get out of this little tobacco we're in right now.
Yeah, no, it's still we're in different times. It's a little bananas, to be honest. Realtors sometimes work from home. Like you guys will go into the office here and there. You're out and about showing properties, doing inspections and so forth. Whereas for me, I'm the type of guy. I have a cup of coffee in the morning, and I'm heading to work. I'm usually in the office about 8:30, so I'm always working in the office. So transitioning to working from home it was hard. The first I'd say 4 days were tough. I called my assistant and I was like, hey, you know what? I don't know that I could do this. This is kind of complicated, homeschooling the kids. As you guys know, I have 3 kids and, dogs running around but I tell you what, I've made the transition well. We have some really set schedules. But it's different, I personally, I don't leave unless I'm going to the grocery store. I tend to go to the grocery store maybe once a week. Other than that, I haven't really left my house in almost 3 weeks. So it's different. How about you, Mo? How long have you been quarantine and kind of staying put?
As far as just getting out and about, I try to keep the little routine in the morning where I do a little jog out there and try to break a sweat and just try to keep some level-headedness to where not everything's completely different. But as far as the people out and about, it's picking up a little bit. Out here at the beach, I think a lot of people are starting to get a little more active. I don't know. Just going like we used to. We're not going as hard. So obviously things have settled down quite a bit, and we're doing a lot of night bike rides and things like that. That kind of keep the kids active during the evening time. But
Okay.
I don't know, things are just it just has a weird feeling to it. So I'm just hoping to get out of this little funk that we're in right now and get back to where people are out and about and enjoying themselves.
Agreed. Yeah, I'm over this whole coronavirus thing. I want things to get back to normal like now. So, how about you, Daniel? What have you been up to?
Yeah, I've been working from home. I do work from home a lot, when I don't have appointments and stuff like that generally. But the difference is that the kids are usually at school when that's happening. So this is different because I'll be my daughter is working out of my office. And then doing her school out of my office. And then my son, my wife set up a place for him to work upstairs. And then I've been working at my kitchen table. So I'll be on a video conference and I'll hear my daughter on a video conference with her classmates in the other room. And then I'll hear my son upstairs and all the kindergartners yelling back and forth over their video conference. And it's just weird that all those dynamics happening in the house at the same time.
Yeah.
It's been good. It's like, I definitely want this to end. I definitely want to move on to this. But for me, it's been this it's one thing if say I just got sick only and then I had to slow down, the whole world was speeding off without me. But something about the whole world slowing down, it makes me feel a little bit at ease about me slowing down too. Yeah. And then in the midst of that, we haven't been slowing down to some degree because we've had a lot more listings that just popped on the market. One went under contract. One we just got an offer on that Mo was working on before we got on live here. And another one that we had that fell through, an offer just came back for it. So It's interesting. People are still buying houses. Are you seeing that on your end with the lending side of things, Vince?
Yeah, I told you guys a couple of weeks ago, I was really concerned. We came off of, having a really good March, and we've been busy. I talked to the loan officers. We're doing video calls once a week, and everyone seems to, their phone's still ringing. People are still wanting to get pre-approved, and, we'll help, another 30 families this month. So we've had families, affected by, the people that were let go from their job or their hours were cut, or maybe they were in a particular program that was available 3 weeks ago that's no longer available. Those people have been affected. But as far as people buying homes, and definitely the ones that want to refinance and take advantage of rates have kept us kind of busy. So I haven't really seen it slow down. You'd think it would, but it hasn't. I think a lot of agents like yourselves are getting creative on, doing virtual tours and, different ways of showing property. But I think if you're willing and ready to buy, and you can buy, you're going to eventually just buy a house, even with everything that's happening.
Yeah, it's interesting. Our listings that we're putting up, and then we're seeing a bunch of show. I mean, that's the thing. I'm like, I haven't gone out and done a lot of showings myself. So when we put these listings up, I'm seeing like a bunch of agents going out showing. And so that was a first surprise. And then also I've been pulling up some neighborhoods recently where I was looking at comparable properties for some of my past customers' homes that they had purchased, the neighborhoods they purchased in, to see how those neighborhoods are performing. And multiple ones, when I pulled them up, I was like, oh, there's no active listings. That's interesting. And then I click pending, and there's multiple pending, some that just went under contract, and then a lot that have sold too. So it's like interesting. It's almost like in some of those neighborhoods, like something pops on the market, it immediately goes under contract. And it's like, that's interesting. I don't think, from the outside looking in, I don't think people would guess that that's happening, but it is. And that's kind of my message. By the way, I slammed my finger in a door. I just caught it when I was talking, and I didn't want people to be seeing it and wondering what that was.
You missing a finger?
Yeah, I'm missing a finger. But anyway, I stuck it in the tiger cage. But that's the message to sellers, is that, one, the world's slowing down right now. Maybe you're at home and you have more time on your hands. This may be the perfect time to be prepping that house that you've been wanting to sell and getting it ready, cleaning it out, decluttering, this and that, talking to us about the price points that it may sell for. And even though the world's going crazy right now, this might actually be a good time to put it on the market, because there's still a lack of inventory. There's still buyers looking, and those that are looking have a lot more time on their hands, for the most part, to be looking at homes online, and we're still seeing homes going under contract.
What were the numbers? We looked at it last weekend. It was under 3 months. We were like, 2.9 months worth of inventory. The rates are phenomenal. I mean, it's a good recipe to, once we get out of here with this, I think the real estate market's going to be fine. So that's what I'm hoping for at this point.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. I mean, I was on a call with, a company call the other day, and, February and March were record months. The company closed like $4 billion in business, and we were on a trend to have like a record year, and then, this coronavirus thing happened, obviously, but I think we're going to come out well in the end. I think this is going to pass. I think we're going to get through it, and I think we're still going to have a healthy market here. And in Jacksonville, let's face it, we're in a good city. There's a lot of job opportunities. There's people moving to this area. The weather's beautiful. I mean, people are going to continue to move to Jacksonville, and the city's going to continue to grow. We just got to get through this darn coronavirus.
That's it.
So as far as showings, like let's say I'm a buyer, right? And I call you guys. I'm like, hey, I'm pre-approved by, I'm pre-approved. I'm ready to go. I want to buy a house. Like, what would you guys do? I mean, you guys still would go show a few homes on the weekend, or how would that work?
Yeah, I just I have a showing set up for this evening, but last week I showed some property, and it was in Jack's Golf. And what I found, we were trying to set up 4 showings in the community, and 3 of the 4 turned down the showings. They didn't want people coming through the home right now, which, I understand. And the other one wanted to wear gloves and come in with a mask, which we did. So we went in there prepared. So, I mean, as far as when you're walking around the property and you see everybody wearing gloves and masks, it does, you take a step back and you look like, man, this is kind of the, what we're getting ourselves into here moving forward. But yeah, maybe not as much like the ease of trying to schedule a showing is not there. It's a little reluctant there. And tonight, as well, they said, they don't want to, one of the 2 don't want their home shown until the weekend, and they want to see a pre-qualification letter in advance, which I completely respect. So, I mean, things I think people are just handling the way they do business differently, other than just letting people run through their house and not knowing if they're pre-qualified in advance.